Nation.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even posting fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion. Delivered by conflicting media reports, we connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We're a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof of your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, we're celebrating today. Thankfully, Josh is on our team, so I don't have to worry about bobbing my head back and forth like they do at some of these ball games. It's National Bobblehead Day. Yeah, I am not going that direction. But it's also National Tempura Day. And I like tempura. I think, was it? Yam tempura, I think, is one of my favorites. Shrimp tempura. Is there any... I don't know. Broccoli is not, I don't know about that one. But there's a lot of good tempuras. Do you like tempura? Put it in the comments if you're a tempura fan. What is your go-to on the tempura list if you are so inclined? And hey, while you're at it, let us know where you're listening to us from. And I know. If you're listening to us live on the radio in the afternoon, we record in the mornings. But if you're listening to us in the afternoon, on ABC News and Talk, AM 1490 or FM 98.1. Well, just say what you got to say. We'll hear you. We understand where you're at. We know what you're doing. Let's see what the markets are doing today. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is now down 35 points. The S&P 500 is down 42. The NASDAQ, the NASDAQ is down 299 points.
Ow!
Yeah, that's taking a big dump. Oil up 51 cents a barrel, $74 a barrel right now. We know that the Biden administration is doing everything they can on their way out the door to try and sabotage our ability to get gas prices where they need to be. And one that's not even being talked about right now. Have you heard the latest from the Biden administration? They did this yesterday. There are no gas heaters. So if you've got a furnace in your house that's being run by natural gas, they don't want to have those anymore. Unbelievable. They want it to be electric. We've already shown that we don't have enough electricity. If you're in Southern California today, we are supposed to have some massive winds. Well, you know something they're talking about with these massive winds? Okay, Lindsay, I like that one. Tempura for life. Good deal. Massive winds today in California. For safety reasons, they're talking about turning off electricity in certain areas. Now, unlike most of our Santa Ana winds, this set of winds is not supposed to be the warm winds. It's supposed to be cold winds. So turn off the electricity. We're going to get rid of the gas heaters. Okay, Mr. President Obama. We'll just freeze. Now, I don't ever wish ill on anybody, but he's going to be out in the Coachella Valley, I think it is today. I hope he gets to see some of these winds out there. Maybe he'll get an opportunity to see what those windmills look like out there along the freeway, along the 10 freeway, and see how beautiful they are. Because I'm not sure. I know he flew into Los Angeles yesterday. My guess is they'll probably chop her out to the Coachella Valley where they're doing this commentary today. But with winds the way they are, yeah, I don't know if you want to be in a helicopter during that time frame. I know it's not someplace that I would like to be, but
I got a bad feeling about this.
I don't think that would be fun at all. Hey, and look at what else is going on. We got some breaking news. Meta, also known as Facebook. Hey, they're adjusting their fact checking. They're going to get rid of the fact checking. Well, I don't think it was really fact checking. It was just checking. It was censorship. But they're getting rid of that division, and they're going to go to the commentary, similar to what they have on X, also known as Twitter, or previously known as Twitter. Now, you might, before you get thinking that Zuckerberg has finally got a brain, they're keeping their fact checkers in the European Union. So they're not going totally normal. But in other news, they're moving part of their company out of California and going to Texas. Surprise. Does that surprise anybody? Leaving California for Texas, another company. Maybe Mr. Zuckerberg is finally realizing that maybe we're not doing so good in California. But I saw that our governor was out in Tulare talking about another $322 billion budget. Like he doesn't have enough places to spend money, to waste money. One of the things that Texas does, and I think it's a good deal, they've got a part-time legislature. So that means they can't screw things up as bad as we do in California. With our full-time legislature, we have plenty of time to screw things up really, really well. And they do it. So if they were a part-time legislature, maybe they would do a little less screwing things up. Just throw that out there for you as a thought process. Consumer electronics show going on right now. So NVIDIA's CEO, Jensen Huang, gave the keynote address. If you're not familiar with NVIDIA, they are, I think they're probably the leader in AI chip production. So if you're getting into AI at all, and you should be, well, NVIDIA, they're the ones that make the chips for that. And they need electricity to run the plants that they're running these AI machines. So just another use for electricity, which I think is run by fuel or fossil fuel power to create electricity. I'm not sure of that because I am not very good in science, but I think that's the case. Fascinating when you're watching what's going on there. You didn't catch our broadcast yesterday. Got some good comments on the 401k ruse. And we're going to be posting parts of the program. If you're looking at it, watch our socials. We'll have some of those things going into the socials later today. So take a look at that as well. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, expert forecast for the 2025 housing market, how to improve your FICO score, and maintaining your credit score for retirement. All that and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We will be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
As the economy slows, do you know anyone worried about job loss? At Siegel Lending Team, we offer the Home Select Loan. Think of it as a financial superhero cape for homeowners with good income and credit. It not only saves your home, but also throws a life ring to your credit score. Because who needs stress when you can have peace of mind? Let's secure your future with a smile. Visit rsrhomeselect.com. rsrhomeselect.com. NMLS 217037.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial when you're ready for that next home loan. Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Every day at this time, OBMMI. They provide the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual locked rates with consumers across 35% of all mortgage transactions nationwide. Love that service. They don't tell us points paid, points received, or the APR. They only tell us the number you put into your mortgage calculator to find out exactly what your monthly principal and interest payment will be. If you don't have a mortgage calculator, go and get our free mobile app. It, as I said, it's free to you. rsrlinks.com/mobile app. rsrlinks.com/mobile app. Get it for free. Rates yesterday: conventional 30-year fixed down 6.875, jumbo 30-year fixed down 7.063, FHA 30-year fixed down 6.526, VA best loan on the market for our veterans 30-year fixed down 6.42, USDA 30-year fixed down 6.50. And if you want our latest commentary on the markets, we put that out each and every business day as early as the data allows. rsrlinks.com/market minute, rsrlinks.com/market minute. And right now the S&P 500 is down 41 points. We'll look at the 10-year treasury up 7 basis points. Mortgage-backed security bond is down 15 basis points, which means interest rates on the 30-year mortgage are up a little bit today. So we are constantly watching that for you. What's driving this? Well, the JOLTS report, the job opening and labor turnover, showed the job openings rose from an upwardly revised 7.839 million to 8.098 million, which was stronger than estimates of 7.7 million. This is the highest level of job openings since May of last year. While the headline number was stronger, the quits and hiring rates showed weakness. The quits rate decreased from 2.1% to 1.9%, the lowest level since 2014 when removing COVID. This shows weakness in the labor market, as a lower quit rate means less people feel confident about getting a new job and less poaching and hiring from other companies. The hiring rate fell from 3.4% to 3.3%, which is the lowest hiring rate since 2013, again, removing COVID. Looking at the sectors, professional and business services added 273,000 job openings, which accounted for 70% of the job openings. Interestingly, actual hirings were down in this sector by 66,000. Leisure and hospitality decreased by 83,000, which was the previous engine of the growth market. The vacancy to unemployment ratio, which the Fed looks at for the health of the labor market, compares the job openings to the number of unemployed, is at 1.1. This is the biggest decline from the peak above 2% and shows a labor market that is cooling. Now let's digest a little bit of this here, because when you look at it and you say, okay, we've got 7.83 million open jobs. Do we really? Because there are still companies that are allowing people, especially in the professional, what they call it, the stronger one, the professional and business services. They're still in the work from anywhere. You don't have to necessarily go into the office. Although I did just see a report this morning that JP Morgan is telling their people they've got to go back to the office 5 days a week. Surprise, surprise, they actually want people to show up to work. But here I digress. But when you've got open jobs and you've got it in sectors where people can work from home, well, it becomes pretty simple to say, okay, You know something? I can work from home. I can post this job in California. I can post a job in Texas. I can post that same job in Florida. Now, when I fill that job, I don't have all those 3 job openings still available because I never really had 3 openings. I only had 1 opening, posted 3 places. So you start looking at these numbers and you say, okay, the hiring number becomes more important than the job opening number. And those people that are quitting and not having someplace to go, that's very indicative of what the market's looking like as well. Now, the market turned on that news because they look at it and they say, okay, well, maybe there's more job openings. That means the employment sector is stronger. The companies are looking to hire. Might not be the case. Now, when you look at the leisure and hospitality, well, those areas really can't be work remote. It's very difficult to go into a restaurant or go into a hotel or go into some of the other hospitality industries and work remotely. You know, if you're serving food, well, you got a robot, I guess it could do it. But I digress. Again, that's the JOLTS report. Then we got the ISM services report, rose from 52.1 to 54.1, stronger than estimates of 53.3. The prices paid component, which is a measure of inflation, rose from 58.2 to 64.4, which was much higher than the decline to 57.5 expected. This stoked some fears of further inflation, and bonds sold off as a result. Looking under the hood, there was some weakness within this report as well. The breadth of it was soft and got worse compared to the prior report. Of 18 industries surveyed, 9 saw growth versus 14 in November, which is the least since June. Additionally, 6 said their business is contracting versus 3 last month. The business activity component increased, but ISM said they are seeing orders be placed for the next cycle earlier than usual ahead of possible higher tariffs impacting the supply chain. CoreLogic Home Price Index reported that home prices were essentially flat, up 0.6% in November, close to their forecast of 0.2%. Appreciation gains have clearly slowed, as they always do at this time of year due to seasonality. Year over year, home prices are up 3.4%, which is unchanged from the 2 previous reports. Here's the big news. CoreLogic forecasts that home prices will be flat in December and rise 3.8% over the next 12 months, which is up significantly from the 2.4% forecast in the previous report. CoreLogic is usually on the conservative side, but they must be feeling better about the housing market to revise their forecast over the next 12 months up by an additional 1.4%. Good news right there. And as we've shared with you many, many times, supply and demand. And I'd love to hear from somebody at Chapman University as to how they figured that real estate values are going to drop when we see that supply is not keeping pace with the demand. Mortgage Minute brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And don't forget, get the mobile app, rsrlinks.com/mobile app, rsrlinks.com/mobile app. And additionally, we've got our home buyers workbook right now. We've got 2 of them. We've got one that you can get digitally, rsrlinks.com/HBG2025, rsrlinks.com/HBG2025. And then we've got a printed version. And I'm going to reach over here, and I don't know if I can show this on the screen, if it'll show up at all. So. Does that show up backwards, Josh? Home buyer workbook. Okay, it's showing up right. Home buyer workbook. We've got a printed copy. So if you want that one, just let us know that as well, and we can get that out to you. But rsrlinks.com/HBG2025. We do update that quarterly as well. You can get that at rsrlinks.com/HBG, rsrlinks.com/HBG. Again, rsrlinks.com/HBG, and you can get our quarterly updated. We've got the newest one from December. Just the winter version just came out last month. Again, they're quarterly, so the winter version is what's out right now. And one of the things I like to talk about has to do with retirement and getting ready for retirement. And I'm hearing a number of folks that are talking about retirement, but they're not planning properly. So, being that I don't have enough time to get this whole report in, I'm going to carry this over to the next segment, and we're going to talk about how to retire and maintain your credit score in retirement. Maintain your credit score for retirement. We'll talk about that when we come back. How to improve your credit score and experts' forecast for the 2025 housing market. All that and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the First Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, the real-time real estate segment. Today being brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Expert forecast for the 2025 housing market. Wondering what's in store for the housing market this year, and more specifically, what it all means for you if you plan to buy or sell a home. The best way to get that information is to lean on the pros. Experts are constantly updating and revising their forecasts. So here's the latest on 2 of the biggest factors expected to shape the year ahead: mortgage rates and home prices. Will mortgage rates come down? Everyone's keeping an eye on mortgage rates and waiting for them to come down. So the question is really, how far and how fast? The good news is they're projected to ease a bit in 2025. But that doesn't mean you should expect to see a return of 3 to 4% mortgage rates. As Lawrence Yoon, chief economist of the National Association of Realtors, NAR, says, quote, "Are we going to go back to 4%? Per my forecast," it's again Lawrence Yoon speaking, "unfortunately, we will not. It's more likely that we'll go back to 6%, unquote." And the other experts agree their forecasting rates could settle in the mid to low 4% range by the end of the year. If you're watching us on ronsiegelradio.tv, any of our socials, or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490 or FM 98.1 video feed, you are seeing mortgage rate projections for the first quarter of 2025, where we are right now. Average Fannie Mae, Mortgage Bankers Association, and Wells Fargo, 6.62%. By the end of the year, the average is 6.3%. You should remember this will continue to change as new information becomes available. Expert forecasts are based on what they know right now. And since everything from inflation to economic drivers have an impact on where rates go from here, some ups and downs are still very likely. So don't get caught up in the exact numbers here and try to time the market. Instead, focus on the overall trend and on what you can actually control. A trusted lender and an agent partner will make sure you've always got the latest data and the context on what it really means for you and your bottom line. With their help, you'll see even a small decline can help bring down your future mortgage payment. Will home prices fall? The short answer, not likely. While mortgage rates are expected to ease, home prices are projected to keep climbing in most areas, just at a slower, more normal pace. If you average the expert forecast together, you'll see prices are expected to go up roughly 3% next year, with most of them hitting somewhere in the 3 to 4% range. And that's much more typical and sustainable rise in prices. Again, if you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, you're seeing a chart of what a lot of the different companies are saying with respect to home prices. And I'm sure on here somewhere, we've got the home price expectation survey right in the middle at 3.8%. And Morgan Stanley that says prices are going to drop by 2%. I wonder if I'll just go out on a limb here and see. I think I know who's running Morgan Stanley's. No, don't. I got friends at Morgan Stanley. I better not do that too loud. Morgan Stanley saying home prices are going to drop 2% for the year. Home price expectation survey is my favorite. Why? Because they average about 100, 115 different experts and come up with a 3.8% average. Remember, we are in California, or many of us are. So our numbers might be higher. Don't expect a sudden drop that'll score you a big deal if you're thinking of buying this year. While that may sound disappointing, if you're hoping prices will come down, refocus on this. It means you won't have to deal with the steep increases we saw in recent years, and you'll also likely see any home you do buy go up in value after you get the keys in hand. And that's actually a good thing. And if you're wondering how it's even possible prices are still rising, here's your answer. It all comes down to supply and demand. Even though there are more homes for sale now than there were a year ago, it's still not enough to keep up with all the buyers out there. As Redfin explains, quote, prices will rise at a pace similar to that of the second half of 2024 because we don't expect there to be enough new inventory to meet demand, unquote. Keep in mind, though, the housing market is hyper-local, so this will vary by area. Some markets will see even higher prices, and some may see prices level off, even dip a little if inventory is up in that area. In most places, though, prices will continue to rise as they usually do. If you want to find out what's happening where you live, you need to lean on an expert agent who can explain the latest trends. You might also want to go and register for free, as usual, and get the information from us, rsrlinks.com/market report. rsrlinks.com/market report. And we have a report there for every zip code in the country. Give you an idea of how many houses are available for sale and what they're doing. rsrlinks.com/market report. Again, that is free to you. rsrlinks.com/market report. The housing market is always shifting, and 2025 will be no different, with rates likely to ease a bit and prices rising at a more normal and sustainable pace. It's all about staying informed and making a plan that works for you. Let's connect. Give me a call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, so you can get the scoop on what's happening in your area and advice on how to make your next move a smart one. That is the real-time real estate segment brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Borrow Smart segment brought to you by rsrhomeselect.com, rsrhomeselect.com. Before you retire, make sure you give us a call and explore the Home Select program, rsrhomeselect.com. One of your biggest assets in retirement is your equity in your home. Do you have access to it? Is it liquid? Well, with the Home Select loan, it is. But if you wait till after you retire, maybe it won't be. Let's talk about it. How to maintain your credit score in retirement is our subject for today. How to maintain your credit score in retirement. Let's look at the report. You want to aim for good credit at all stages of life, but some people forget to consider how important credit is when you reach retirement. When you retire, you want to have as much financial freedom as possible to live out the rest of your years in peace. Unfortunately, bad credit can get in the way if you're not careful. You might need to take out a loan. Retirement comes with many expenses, some of which can be unexpected. If you're in a financial bind and don't want to dip into your savings or simply don't have the funds you might need to take out a loan, poor credit will cause your loan interest rates to skyrocket, which means more money is taken out of your pocket, or even worse, you may find you don't qualify for a loan when you desperately need an influx of cash. You could want new housing. Many retirees opt to move in their retirement, whether to find warmer weather or to be closer to family. If you don't have the money to purchase the housing you want, you'll likely have to turn to renting or take out a mortgage. Good credit in these situations will give you competitive rates. Conversely, moving locations will take a big chunk of your retirement income if you don't have a decent credit score. For example, let's look at two people applying for a mortgage with the same qualifications, except for their credit scores. Person A has a credit score in the 680 to 699 range, a good credit score. Person B has a credit score in the 760 to 850 range, an excellent credit score. According to Forbes, this difference in credit scores will likely result in person A having a mortgage interest rate that's 0.399% higher. So why does such a small difference matter? Well, over a 20-year mortgage term, person A will pay over $20,000 more in interest on a mortgage of $244,000 compared to person B. Simply put, having poor credit score costs you money. You might need to help pay for medical bills. A retired couple, age 65, will need around $315,000 for medical expenses in retirement. If you have extensive medical needs, your medical bills could be even higher. Retirement typically means more medical attention, whether that's attending regular doctor checkups, purchasing medical alert systems, or other medical equipment, or paying for health insurance expenses. Covering your medical bills and expenses in retirement may mean you need to apply for a new credit card, put the bills on a current card, or even take out a personal loan. Any of these options will have you money in interest. Any of these options will save you money in interest rates if you have a better credit score. Also, if you don't have the funds to pay your medical bills, the medical debt may impact your credit score and negatively affect you in the future. Traveling ain't cheap. For many retirees, traveling is one of their top priorities. No more work deadlines or worries of waiting for paid time off. The tricky thing about traveling, however, is that it's costly. A common way to save money when traveling is to have good credit cards specializing in travel rewards, resulting in free flight miles, discounts on hotels, car rental coupons, etc. A good travel card with competitive rates is hard to come by. If you have a poor credit score, there are options, but the rates will likely be much higher, which can take a toll on your retirement. So, how do you maintain and improve your credit score before and after retirement? In 6 steps. Well, number 1, pay off debt the right way. rsrccpayment.com. rsrccpayment.com. Retiring isn't going to be easy if you have a great deal of debt trailing you behind you. Make it a priority to pay off as much debt as possible before you retire, whether it's credit card debt or past due bills. This will improve your credit score immensely and help you enter retirement worry-free. Number 2, don't close your credit card accounts. You may be in a hurry to close your credit card accounts because you want to go into retirement debt-free. Although it's a good move to have no credit card debt, you still want to keep your accounts open. Close, which makes up 15% of your credit score. Keep your accounts open if you want to continue to improve your credit history and score. However, if you're trying to live a frugal retirement, be careful not to accrue too much debt with your open credit cards. Consider setting limits for yourself or even leaving your credit cards at home to avoid overspending. Use them the right way. Again, rsrccpayment.com. Number 3, open additional accounts if necessary. If you don't have a lot of credit or need improving your credit score, opening additional accounts may be a good idea. However, Continue to use your accounts wisely and check your credit utilization often to ensure you're not hindering your credit score progress. Ideally, you want your credit utilization ratio to be less than 30%. Number 4, consolidate your debt. Keep in mind that debt consolidation won't be the best option for everyone. However, there are many cases where it will simplify your debt, lower your interest rates, and save you money each month. Consider debt consolidation and have a consult a professional if you think this might be the right thing for you to do. Chris Corrales, he handles that for a lot of our listeners. Give me a call. I'll put you in touch. Number 5, pay your bills on time. Paying your bills on time is always important, but especially before and after retirement. At this age, you don't have much time to make up for poor credit scores, so make it a priority to pay your bills on time. Just a 30-day payment delinquency could result in a 17 to 133-point credit score drop. This could significantly affect your financial situation in retirement, and you don't want to create bumps in the road for yourself. Number 6, frequently check your credit reports. Many websites allow you to check your credit for free. You can see where you currently stand and what's impacting your score and how to improve it. You can't manage or keep track of your credit if you're not checking it often. So don't forget to make that a priority. A comfortable retirement is possible. Are you motivated to improve your credit for retirement but need help figuring out where to start? Give me a call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Happy to put you in touch with the experts who can help you in the area. As always, I ask. And we're going to come back in just a minute, and we're going to talk how to improve your credit score. That's the one that I was looking for. How to improve your credit score. When we come back, you can reach me anytime off air. Number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We will be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by rsrnodebt.com. I'm sorry, is it RS? No, we have an RSR links for that, don't we? rsrlinks.com/no-debt. rsrlinks.com/no-debt, I believe, is the right one. We'll have to have Josh check that for us. rsrlinks.com/no-debt. How to improve your credit score. How long it takes to improve your credit score, the exact amount of time how long it will take to improve your credit score will depend on your unique situation. If your score is low and you're missing debt payments, you're consistently taking on more debt, your score can take months or years to improve. You may be able to increase a low score by as much as 100 points in just 1 month. If your score is higher or you've already started to see an increase after improving your financial situation, you could see the same 100-point increase in 6 months. Wondering where to start? Here are a few tips to help boost your credit score and improve your finances. Number 1, check the accuracy of your credit reports. And I think we've got a rsrlinks.com/ is it FICO? rsrlinks.com/FICO, I believe, is the link for that to get us to checking your credit. rsrlinks.com/FICO. If the dispute results in the removal of the derogatory mark, your credit score could increase within a month. Understanding your credit history and figuring out what's on your credit report is a great place to start. There are 3 major credit bureaus, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, and each has its own credit report and score based on your credit history. That means everyone actually has multiple credit scores. Sometimes you may find errors on your report that you'll need to correct through a dispute process. If you find an error, you'll have to file a separate dispute with each credit bureau since they are run separately. If there are multiple errors on your credit reports, you'll need to dispute each of these individually. Removing errors can be one of the fastest ways to boost your credit score. Every derogatory mark on your credit report could cause your score to drop, and removing those marks gives your score a chance to improve. Get everything you need to master your credit today by just giving us a call at 800-306-1990. You may also be able to dispute credit inquiries on your credit report, many of which are hard inquiries and can impact your credit score. A hard inquiry stays on your credit report for an entire year. While each individual hit is relatively small, it can push you over the edge from one credit score tier to one below it. What's more, several hard inquiries over a short period of time can drop your score by as much as 10 points. If you didn't approve the inquiry into your credit, you may be able to get it removed. This could potentially increase your credit score, but only slightly. Number 2, target the areas you need to improve. Potential impact, you'll gain a clear understanding of where your credit score falls, so you can build a strategy to help you boost the score over time. Checking your credit reports from each of the 3 main credit reporting agencies is easy. Under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, you have the right to obtain a free copy of all your reports once each year. You can access the free copies of your report with each of the 3 bureaus through annualcreditreport.com. That does not give you the scores, it gives you the reports. You can also check your credit through free other services, and you can also just go. Now remember, you want to get the right ones. If you're looking for a mortgage, you want to make sure you have the correct FICO scoring model. A lot of the free ones that even they say FICO, they're giving you FICO Model 8, which is not used for credit scoring. Once you receive a copy of your credit report, you will know which areas need improvement and where to start. Number 3, fix late payments. Potential impact: removing late payments from your credit report could cause your score to increase. Late and missed payments can stay on your credit report for 7 years. These derogatory marks lower your credit score and make you appear as a bigger risk to lenders. Credit reporting agencies don't remove these items, but you may be able to convince a creditor to do so. Creditors may forgive one late payment if you have a history of on-time payments, but you'll need to call and discuss it with them. No matter what they say, they can remove them. Here's the other part of that. Everything that's on your credit report must be complete, accurate, and verifiable. The last part is how they can remove anything they want to, is it must be verifiable. If they don't verify it, it must be removed. Number 4, get added as an authorized user. As long as the primary cardholders stay current on payments, you'll likely see an increase in your credit score. You can become an authorized user for a credit card account if you have a friend or family member with a good credit history. Even if you don't use the credit card, your credit reports will leverage the person's credit history of on-time payments, which may help you boost your score. This is also known as piggybacking on someone's credit. Should you do this, it's important to remember that the other person and yourself are now linked. This means that using the card and missing payments can harm the other person's credit score and vice versa. Number 5, clear any outstanding collection accounts. Once the debt is removed from your credit report, your score will likely increase. The extent of the increase will depend on how much debt you have. Contacting your creditors about paying off your debt is a great way to raise your credit score fast. Make sure they agree to remove the negative hit to your credit report if you repay it in full, and get it in writing. If this agreement isn't made, there will likely be no impact to your credit score, or it could hurt your score because of re-aging if you pay it and they didn't have it set up this way. Number 6, open a secured credit card. The potential impact: making full on-time payments can help you boost your score. Payment history makes up 35% of your FICO score, and those on-time payments can help you build your score quickly. Remember, rsrccpayment.com, rsrccpayment.com. Number 7, be mindful of your credit utilization. Again, rsrccpayment.com. I explained that to you. What's the potential impact? Your credit utilization makes up 30% of your credit score. By reducing what you owe, you can increase your credit score over time. Your score can suffer if you carry a large amount of debt compared to your available credit. Credit utilization accounts for 30% of your credit score. So if your total credit available on all your credit cards is $10,000 and your credit currently using $8,000 of it, paying those down, those balances can increase your score by decreasing your total credit utilization. Experts recommend keeping your credit utilization ratio around 30%. Using the above example, this means keeping your total credit card balance at $3,000. Number 8, increase your credit limits. Your credit limit impacts your credit utilization ratio. A higher limit will lower your ratio, positively affecting your credit score. As previously discussed, a low credit utilization ratio is ideal, and increasing your credit limits is one way to improve your credit utilization. Use the same $10,000 example. $4,000 of debt would be 40% credit utilization. If you increase your credit limit to $15,000, that same $4,000 will be 26%. But keep in mind that this could trigger an inquiry and will impact your score on that area. Number 9, set up automatic payments. I tell you about that in rsrccpayment.com. And limit your new credit card applications. All that will help. Keep your oldest accounts open. Do not close them. Diversify your credit mix. That will help you. And negotiate lower interest rates wherever possible. If you have questions about these, give me a call at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And as always, I ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Josh and Sean for engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.